Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Triple H was one of WWE's top stars when he held the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw in 2004. In a recent video, Maven Huffman recalled how a match with the game might have contributed to his exit from the company. On November 15, 2004, Maven performed as the Raw general manager for one night. The inaugural Tough Enough winner appeared in a backstage segment with Triple H before unsuccessfully challenging him for the World Heavyweight Championship. The latest video on Maven's YouTube channel revolved around his on-screen authority role. Reflecting on his bout with Triple H, the three-time Hardcore Champion admitted his performance likely contributed to WWE releasing him several months later. WWE released Maven on July 5, 2005. The 48-year-old is best remembered for his Tough Enough victory and 2002 feud with The Undertaker. Although Maven had been in WWE for 3 years, he allowed the King of Kings to dictate almost everything that happened in their match. The former WWE star watched the 12-minute bout back and acknowledged he was not good enough at that stage of his career to headline events. Maven's last WWE match aired on the June 26, 2005 episode of Sunday Night Heat. He joined forces with Antonio and Romeo in a loss against the Hurricane, Rosie, and Val Venis. When not watching and covering sports, Hart enjoys long-distance running, playing video games, and listening to audiobooks and podcasts. Before assuming his current role, Hart worked as a football writer at Goal.com between 2009 and 2016. He prides himself on writing original content that is fact-based and highly accurate. Hart thoroughly proofreads his work before submitting it and relies only on credible sources for information. Hart's favorite pro wrestler is The Undertaker. He admires the 2022 WWE Hall of Famer's ability to reinvent his character and remain relevant across his decades-long career. If given the keys to WWE's creative department, he would bring back the Phenom for a farewell bout against AJ Styles in a stadium full of fans. Not only that, but he would love to have the multi-time world champion's greatest rivals seated at ringside for the spectacle. In the ever-unpredictable world of professional wrestling, few moments define careers like the big matches. For some, they're career-defining peaks, WrestleMania moments etched into the legacy of legends. For others, they can become the turning point of a slow descent into obscurity. And for former three-time WWE champion Marcus the Apex Vance, it was the latter. It's been over a decade since Vance walked the WWE ramp under blinding pyros and roaring crowds, clutching championship gold. Today, he sits across from a podcast mic, candid, reflective, and unfiltered, finally revealing the moment he believes began the downward spiral that led to his WWE release. It was that match with Triple H at Backlash 2011, he says, leaning into the mic, his voice low and steady. That's where it all started falling apart. At the time, Vance was one of WWE's fastest rising stars. A three-time Intercontinental Champion with an electrifying persona and main event potential, he had all the makings of the next big thing. Management had invested heavily in him, merchandise, primetime slots, and a carefully crafted image of a ruthless anti-hero. Triple H, meanwhile, was the gatekeeper of the main event scene. Known for his cerebral style, brutal matches, and influence backstage, a feud with the game was seen as a rite of passage. Creative pitched it as a passing of the torch moment, Vance explains. They said, "You beat Hunter at Backlash, and we launch you into the world title picture." I believed them. That was my mistake. The build was intense, physical, personal, and dramatic. The promos cut deep. Vance verbally attacked Hunter's legacy, accused him of holding younger talent back, even name-dropped Stephanie McMahon. Triple H fired back with his trademark blend of real-life jabs and storyline venom. It had fans buzzing. When the bell rang at Backlash 2011, expectations were sky-high. But from the opening lockup, something felt off. I knew within the first 5 minutes, Vance says, shaking his head. Hunter was calling the match way slower than we planned. He changed the spots on the fly. Every time I tried to get some momentum, he shut it down. The 18-minute match, which was supposed to end with Vance going over clean, ended in controversy. After a ref bump, a sledgehammer shot, and a disputed pinfall, Triple H's hand was raised. The crowd was stunned, not because of the twist, but because of how flat the whole thing felt. I was told afterward that Vince changed the finish 2 hours before the show, Vance reveals. Said he didn't think the crowd was ready for me to beat Hunter clean. Triple H agreed. People stopped making eye contact, he recalls. Producers who were praising me a week before wouldn't look up from their clipboards. And Hunter? He just walked by and patted me on the back. No good match, nothing. The creative direction for Vance changed almost overnight. Instead of being inserted into a world title program, he was booked into a mid-card feud with Zack Ryder. Instead of championship gold, he found himself in throwaway tag matches on Superstars. I went from main event promise to irrelevance in like 6 weeks, he says. Some fans chalked it up to bad timing. Others speculated about backstage politics, that Vance had heat, or that he'd rubbed someone in creative the wrong way. But according to Vance, it all traced back to that one night. You don't almost beat Triple H, he says, bitterness creeping into his voice. You either beat him or you don't. And if you don't, well, you better hope there's a plan B. I didn't have one. As his momentum faded, Vance's frustration grew. He admits to lashing out at writers, refusing to take part in certain angles, and losing motivation. I'll be real with you. I got difficult to work with, he admits. You work your whole life for that shot, and when it's yanked away because someone got cold feet, it eats at you. The final straw came in 2013. After a minor shoulder injury sidelined him, WWE quietly removed Vance from promotional material and began phasing out his character. I didn't even get a call, he says, just an email from talent relations saying my contract wouldn't be renewed. After everything, 3 titles, years on the road, that was it. Today, Vance works on the indie circuit, occasionally coaching younger talent and giving seminars on the business side of wrestling. But the sting of what could have been still lingers. I'm not saying I was perfect, he concedes. I had a chip on my shoulder. Maybe I wasn't ready. But I'll always believe that match was the turning point. He pauses, then adds, Triple H, he's a legend. I respect what he's done for the business. But that night, he made a call that changed my career. And I've had to live with that ever since. In the world of pro wrestling, not every star reaches the top of the mountain. Some fall short because of injury, others because of timing, and some, like Marcus Vance, because the politics behind the curtain are as real as the pain in the ring. I've got fans who still remember my run, he says. Kids come up to me at indie shows and say I inspired them. That means more now than any title belt. As he pushes away from the mic and signs off from the interview, Vance offers one final thought. In this business, you don't always get the ending you want. Sometimes the game plays you.